Right now, $50,000 in debt feels like a number that owns you.
And here's what nobody tells you. If you're making minimum payments on $50,000 at the average credit card rate of 21% APR, you won't pay it off for over 10 years. You'll hand your lender more than $30,000 in pure interest.
Money that doesn't pay down a single dollar of what you actually owe.
That's not a debt problem. That's a math trap, and the minimum payment system is designed to keep you in it.
Here's what's possible instead. Using the exact blueprint we're breaking down today, someone earning an average American income can eliminate $50,000 in debt in under 24 months.
Not by winning the lottery.
Not by getting a raise.
By making 3 specific decisions about where your money goes, how you attack debt in the right order, and how you accelerate your timeline using income most people already have access to. The average American spends over $6,000 a year on things they don't even remember buying. Redirected properly, that's $500 a month back in your pocket, aimed directly at debt. This video is the blueprint. Every step, every strategy, every number explained so clearly that by the time you're done watching, you'll know exactly what to do on day 1. So if you're done letting debt run your financial life, the next 2 years start right now.
To understand how to escape, we first have to look at the scale of the cage.
According to the Federal Reserve Consumer Credit Report for 2024, the average American household carries $104,215 in total debt. This includes everything from the roofs over our heads and the cars in our driveways to the degrees on our walls and the balances on our credit cards. But while a mortgage is often seen as manageable debt, the consumer debt we're talking about today, specifically that $50,000 threshold, is what keeps 77% of adults in a state of constant financial stress. In fact, a study by the American Psychological Association found that debt was the primary factor cited by those experiencing high stress levels in 2023. This isn't just about your bank account. It's about your mental health, your sleep, and your future. The biggest obstacle you are facing right now isn't the balance itself, it's the speed at which that balance grows. In late 2023, credit card interest rates averaged 21.47% APR. That is the highest level ever recorded in the history of the Federal Reserve. We are living through an era of historically expensive debt. When you carry a balance of $50,000 at these rates, your interest charges alone can exceed $900 a month. If you are only paying the minimum, you are essentially spinning your wheels in the mud while the bank builds a skyscraper with your interest payments. The first pillar of our blueprint is the mathematical audit. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Data from the National Foundation for Credit Counseling shows that Americans who maintain a written monthly budget are twice as likely to report paying off debt successfully compared to those who don't. There is a psychological shift that happens when you move from guessing what you spend to knowing where every cent goes. It's the difference between being a victim of your finances and being the CEO of your household. We're going to start by identifying the ghost drain. The Bureau of Labor Statistics recently found that the average household spends $6,081 per year on dining out, entertainment, and discretionary subscriptions. That is roughly $507 every single month. For most people, this money isn't spent on life-changing experiences. It's spent on convenience, forgotten streaming services, and impulse purchases. If we take just that one category and redirect it entirely to your debt, you could eliminate over $12,000 of that $50,000 balance in just 2 years without even touching your primary paycheck. Now that we have identified the ghost drain and established the discipline of a written budget, we have to talk about the strategy of the attack. Not all debt is created equal, and how you choose to prioritize your payments will determine exactly how many thousands of dollars stay in your pocket versus going to the bank. There are 2 primary schools of thought here, the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. The snowball method focuses on psychological wins, paying off the smallest balances first to build momentum. However, because we are operating on a strict 24-month timeline for a $50,000 balance, we are going to focus on the debt avalanche. According to a 2024 NerdWallet debt payoff analysis, the avalanche method saves significantly more money in total interest paid. By targeting the debt with the highest interest rate first, usually those credit cards sitting at 21% or higher, you effectively lower the gravity pulling against your progress. Every dollar you pay toward a high-interest balance reduces the amount of interest that can accrue the following month, creating a compounding effect in your favor. But what if your interest rates are so high that they're suffocating your ability to make a dent in the principal? This is where we look at strategic refinancing.
Based on the LendingTree Personal Loan Rate Report from early 2024, debt consolidation loans can reduce average interest rates from the 20 to 30% range seen on credit cards down to between 9% and 14% for those with decent credit.
Let's look at the math. Moving $50,000 from a 21% APR credit card to a 12% consolidation loan doesn't just lower your monthly stress.
It potentially saves you over $4,000 in interest over a 2-year period. That's $4,000 that goes directly toward your freedom instead of the bank's profit margin. However, a word of caution, consolidation only works if you stop using the credit cards you just cleared. If you consolidate the debt and then run the balances back up, you haven't solved the problem, you've doubled it. While you are reorganizing the structure of your debt, you need to implement the velocity hack. Most people pay their bills once a month when the statement arrives. But the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau highlights a simple yet powerful tactic: bi-weekly payments. By taking your total monthly debt payment and splitting it into 2 and paying every 2 weeks, you end up making 26 half payments a year. That equals 13 full monthly payments instead of 12. This single extra payment per year, applied directly to the principal, can shave months off your timeline and save hundreds in interest without you even feeling the shift in your budget. To ensure this entire system stays on track, you must leverage automation. Data from experience suggests that setting up automatic payments is the single best way to protect your progress. A missed payment on a large balance isn't just a late fee. At 21% APR, a missed payment can trigger a penalty APR of up to 29.99%. That 8% jump on a $50,000 balance is catastrophic to your timeline. Automation removes human error from the equation and ensures that your credit score, which you'll need for that consolidation loan, remains protected.
We have the budget, we have the strategy, and we've optimized the interest rates. Now, we have to talk about the fuel for this engine: income acceleration.
The math of debt payoff is simple, but the execution is where most people fail. To kill $50,000 in under 24 months, we have to move beyond just saving and start generating. According to a 2024 analysis using a bank rate debt payoff calculator, if you have $50,000 in debt at a 20% APR and you only make the minimum payments, you are looking at a decade-long sentence. However, if you apply an additional $1,000 per month directly to that principal, your payoff timeline doesn't just get shorter, it collapses. It drops from over 10 years to approximately 3 years. And when you combine that $1,000 extra with your existing minimum payments and the $500 we recovered from your discretionary spending earlier, you land firmly in the under 2 years territory. Now, you might be asking, where does that extra $1,000 a month come from?
For many Americans, it's not hidden in the couch cushions, it's hidden in their time.
We are currently in the golden age of the bridge income, temporary, high-intensity work designed for a specific financial goal.
Whether it's consulting in your professional field, taking on overtime, or leveraging the gig economy, the goal isn't to work this hard forever.
The goal is to work this hard for exactly 24 months. Think of this as a financial wartime footing. In a normal economy, you spend what you earn. In wartime, every single surplus dollar is a soldier sent to the front lines to destroy the debt balance. When you receive a tax refund, a work bonus, or even a cash gift, it does not go into your savings account, and it certainly doesn't go toward a vacation. It goes toward the principal. Why?
because a dollar saved in a bank account might earn you 4% interest, but a dollar paid toward a 21% credit card is a guaranteed 21% return on your investment. There is no investment on Wall Street that can consistently beat the guaranteed return of paying down high-interest debt.
This is also the phase where you must confront the lifestyle creep trap. As you start to see the balance drop from $50,000 to $40,000, then $35,000, there is a natural temptation to reward yourself.
You feel lighter, the stress starts to lift, and you think, I've been working so hard, I deserve a night out or a new gadget.
This is the most dangerous moment in the blueprint. This is where the open loop of debt tries to pull you back in. The 77% of adults who reported debt as their primary stressor often fall back into the cycle because they relax too soon. To stay on the 2-year track, you have to maintain the same intensity at $10,000 remaining as you did at $50,000. You are not safe until the balance is zero. We aren't looking for a temporary fix. We are looking for a permanent exit from the debtor class. As we enter the final stretch of this blueprint, it's time to talk about the psychology of the finish line. By now, you've restructured your payments, slashed your interest rates, and accelerated your income. But the final 12 months of a 2-year payoff plan are often the hardest. This is when frugal fatigue sets in. To push through, you have to stop looking at your debt as a burden and start looking at it as a locked door to your freedom. Think about what happens the moment that balance hits zero. That $1,500 or $2,000 a month you've been aggressively throwing at your debt doesn't just disappear, it becomes your wealth-building engine. In 2 years, you won't just be debt-free. You will have developed the financial muscles and the discipline of a millionaire. You will have a written budget habit that, as the NFSCC found, makes you twice as likely to succeed where others fail. You will have an optimized cash flow that most people your age only dream of. Let's recap the math one last time so you can see how the 24-month horizon is actually structured. You start with $50,000. By cutting that $6,000 in annual discretionary waste, you've already erased $12,000 over 2 years. By adding $1,000 a month in wartime income, you've erased another $24,000. That's $36,000 accounted for before we even talk about your baseline minimum payments or the interest you saved by consolidating from 21% down to 12%. When you add the interest savings and your primary debt budget, the $50,000 doesn't just get paid off, it gets obliterated. This is the point where you move from defense to offense. Once the debt is gone, you take that same additional $1,000 a month and you pivot. Instead of paying a bank 21% interest, you start earning interest in an emergency fund and a retirement account. This shift is how the average American household moves from the $104,215 average debt statistic into the top 10% of wealth holders. The next 24 months are going to pass whether you take action or not. 2 years from today, you can either be sitting in the exact same spot, stressed, paying for things you bought 3 years ago, and fueling the bank's profits. Or you can be standing on the other side of that $50,000 wall, completely free. The blueprint is in your hands. You know the numbers. You have the facts. You understand the math trap of the 21% APR and the power of the bi-weekly payment. There are no more excuses left. Start your mathematical audit today. Identify your ghost drain tonight. Set up your automatic payments tomorrow. $50,000 is a big number, but it's just a number. And starting right now, you are the one who owns it, not the other way around. It's time to get to work. Your debt-free life is waiting for you 24 months from today. Go get it!